Hey, this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11, one of two new flagship tablets that Samsung launched in Berlin last week. Now, this is the smaller model, S11, with an 11-inch screen. The other one is the bigger, much bigger Tab S11 Ultra with a 14.6-inch screen. Most of the differences between the two tablets come down to physical size. The Ultra is much bigger, so it has a bigger screen with more pixels, it has a bigger battery, and it also weighs a little bit more, and it has a higher maximum RAM and storage. But other than that, in terms of basic overall use, in terms of the chip powering the tablets, or the software running everything, or the AI features, performance between the Tab S11 and the S11 Ultra are going to be very similar. So that means even though I am only testing the smaller model this year, I think I will have a pretty good idea of how the S11 Ultra handles. So you can consider this a review of the S11 Ultra too, if you want, or you can just watch an S11 Ultra review. So there's a lot to like with the S11 here. I think this 11-inch screen size may actually be more practical for 90% of consumers. An 11-inch screen is large enough, and this is a more compact size, obviously. This tablet is very thin. It measures only 5.4 millimeters, or about 0.22 inches for Americans, and it weighs almost exactly 1 pound, so it's very portable and very easy to handle. The Tab Ultra, I haven't touched the S11 Ultra, but I tested the Ultra 2 years ago, and it is a little bit unwieldy to hold in one hand because it is much larger. Like, it stretches so far out. The weight distribution, it's not as nice as the S11. Now, the S11 starts at $800 in the US, and in Hong Kong, 6,288 Hong Kong dollars. For that price, you get not just the tablet, but also the S-Pen Stylus. So I think that adds some value proposition to Samsung tablets, because just about every other tablet I've tested, the Stylus, it's a separate purchase. But here you do get the Stylus S-Pen with the package. Now, for that $800 price, you get 256 gigs of base storage with 12 gigs of RAM, and it maxes out at 512 storage and 12 gigs of RAM. The Ultra variant gets up to 16 gigs of RAM. The chipset here, it's a MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus. This is MediaTek's highest tier chip right now. It launched just about 5 months ago, so it's very new, 3nm architecture. It is absolutely a flagship chip designed to go against the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite. So in terms of performance, you won't have to worry. The MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus, along with 12 gigs of RAM, is more than powerful enough to run any app that you're going to install on the Tab S11, including any game from the Google Play Store, and even editing videos. So I have edited some videos on LumaFusion. I'm able to put multiple 4K videos, multiple layers in like a 5-6 minute clip, scrub through the timeline without any lag, and I'm able to render the footage in under 2 minutes for a 5-6 minute clip. That's pretty fast. Now, as for the overall tablet design, there's really not that much to talk about. This is designed just like every other tablet that you have seen. So you have an aluminum unibody design along with a screen on the front. What sets the S11 apart from other Android tablets that I usually test is that, number one, you have an OLED panel, 2K resolution. This is still kind of rare in a lot of Android tablets. A lot of the tablets I test are LCD panel. So it's nice to have a 120 Hz OLED panel here that gets up to 1600 nits of brightness, so you can definitely see it even outdoors, like right now. However, I do wish the display had that anti-reflective coating that the S25 Ultra has, or the new iPad or the new Xiaomi highest tier tablet has. Because right now outdoors, the glare problem is quite bad, but it's not unique to this tablet. That's like 90% of tablets. I've just gotten used to the ones with the anti-glare reflection screen, and I want that on everything I test. The other part of the S11 that stands out from other tablets is that it has an in-display fingerprint reader right here. That is very fast and accurate. The fact that it has an ultrasonic scanner does make it a little bit more practical than an optical scanner. So number one, you don't have a light shining through the screen in a dark room. That's quite distracting. And number two, even if your finger is a little bit oily, let's say you're eating a hamburger, you can still unlock probably without any issues. You cannot say that with an optical scanner. Now, this tablet does come with a keyboard, but it is a separate purchase. But the good news is, the keyboard this year, it's only retailing for about $100 US. Because if you remember the previous Samsung tablets I've tested, the first party official keyboard retail for like $300 US, and I thought that price was ridiculous. Like a keyboard, $300. So $100 is a much better deal, but you do lose some features. So number one, you no longer have a trackpad, you just have a keyboard. So you do have to use your finger or the stylus to maneuver around the UI without a trackpad. And then number two, there's no longer a flap on the back that protects the S Pen. Previously, I liked Samsung tablets because you could store the S Pen on the back, and there's a little flap that covered it. Now you have to store the S Pen on the top of the tablet like every other tablet out there. I've never been a big fan of this because when I put the tablet in and out of my backpack, I find that this gets knocked off very easily. And you know, I'm someone who flies a lot. When I'm going to airport security and I'm taking out my tablet in and out of my bag, I don't want the tablet flying off in a security line. Like, I'm always paranoid I'm gonna lose a stylus when I'm going through airport security. You have a 13 megapixel camera here, and the Ultra tablet has an extra ultra wide camera, which to me is useless. Like, you have a tablet, you're not gonna use a tablet as a camera, and no matter how good a tablet camera is, it's not gonna be better than our phone cameras anyway. So to me, it's pointless. As long as the cameras are functional, they're more than good enough. And to me, both the front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera, they're more than like okay enough. Like the front-facing camera, you're not going to be taking selfies with this to post on Instagram. Instead, you'll be doing video calls with it, and I think it is perfectly fine. So you're watching front-facing camera footage right now, shot with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11. How do I look right now? How do I sound? But overall, in terms of the tablet hardware and the keyboard accessory, everything works as advertised, but it's also at the same time like nothing special or nothing unique that stands out from the pack. Instead, what sets the S11 apart from other tablets out there like the iPad or other Android tablet is that this has Galaxy AI, which is in my opinion the best collection of AI features around. I've been saying this for a few years, ever since the S24 phone series came out. I feel like Samsung's S24, S25 phones, they don't necessarily have better hardware than other Chinese Android phones I test, but they have a much more well-rounded, fully functional, capable list of AI features. And all of that is here. So you have generative AI photo editing, and I think Samsung's generative AI photo editing is the best in class. It just allows me to do more editing, like remove stuff, generate an entire new chunk of a person's face, which an iPhone would not dare to do. Okay, so check this out. This is an old photo of me from like several years ago. This dog is blocking my face. And now I'm just gonna draw around the dog. I'm gonna move him to the left a little bit, and I'm gonna generate. So this part of my face is completely blocked out. So now Samsung's AI is gonna generate pixels to fill in my face. I mean, look at it. It looks pretty good. Like, this kind of looks like me. So Samsung generated an entire chunk of my face right here. This is AI creation. And other Android phones just do not do as well. If you're trying to erase something from a photo or remove a background, Samsung's generative AI just works better than, say, Xiaomi or Vivo's offering. There's also live two-way translation. Like, you can type or say any word and translate it or interpret it to another language immediately in real time. And also sketch to image, which is one of my favorite features that only Samsung offers. Well, I think Techno offers it too, but it is here. So I can do a crude stretch and either turn it into something that resembles like a legit piece of art, or I can sketch onto a real life photo and add something that's kind of realistic looking. Like I've said before, the act of doctoring a photo, manipulating a photo by drawing, adding stuff to it via AI, it's kind of divisive. A lot of people think it's very bad, and I kind of see that point because you're twisting reality. At the same time, a lot of people do enjoy it. Like, I've used this example before. I've been taking a lot of photos of my mom. My mom really loves dogs. So I've been adding like these dogs to her photos and sending it to her, and she always responds like very happily, like, oh, that's so cute. Send me more of these, or like add more dogs on it. So, you know, I mean, she's an old lady, but she loves that, and I kind of have fun doing that too. On top of that, you also have the ability to turn most videos into a slow motion video. So whether it's a video you shot with this tablet or a video you grab off the internet, you can turn it into a slow motion video with just a long press. Alright, so check this out. This is a video I shot 2 years ago. You can tell my hair is different from my hair right now, so this is an old video. I shot this as a normal video, not a slow motion video. But if I long press on the video, Galaxy AI will automatically turn it into a slow motion video. Also on the software front, this guy runs One UI 8 over Android 15. And One UI, you know, it's about the same as usual. It's a relatively good looking software with a really good multitasking functionality, but I wish it has some of the gestures that a OnePlus software or Honor software would offer me. But for the most part, no complaints. You can multitask here very easily. There's also a new dedicated desktop mode that's kind of like iOS 26. It allows you to open any app into a smaller resizable window immediately. And also, of course, there's Samsung DeX, so you can connect this tablet to an external display wirelessly or via USB-C cable and get a bigger Windows-like UI on a larger display. So like I said earlier, any game that you download from Google Play Store is going to run here perfectly fine at the high frame rate, and you're going to get a steady performance even over 10, 15, 20 minutes of gaming. You're not going to get the throttling that you may get from a weaker chipset. The MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus is quite capable for gaming. And then as for editing videos, like I said, LumaFusion runs perfectly fine here. CapCut also runs perfectly fine here. As for battery life, now I have not used this tablet continuously in one go for like 10 hours, but I used it over multiple sessions for 3 or 4 hours at a time. And I can see that the battery drains about 8 to 9% per hour. This is with the screen brightness on high, and I'm doing active productivity work, like writing articles on Samsung internet with multiple tabs open, Slack running in the background, and constantly checking Twitter and YouTube and other social media. So with that kind of usage, this is a tablet that can still last about 12 to 13 or 14 hours. And I think that's good enough. So overall, I think the Galaxy Tab S11 is probably the most fully capable tablet. Like, yeah, I still think an iPad has a better silicon, an iPad has a better video editing app, but an iPad does not have the AI features that this guy has because Apple Intelligence is not good. Likewise, I think my Samsung Tab Ultra has a much better screen than this guy. I love the screen on that tablet, but that tablet is a China ROM, so it doesn't run Google apps as well as this guy, and it doesn't have the AI features of this guy. As for the Honor Magic Pad, the OnePlus Pad 3, they're good in their own way, but they don't have an OLED display, they don't have an in-display fingerprint reader. And I just really like the size of this 11-inch model. Like, I'm someone who's always on the go, always working outside, and this is a tablet, even with a keyboard, that can fit into my bag and stay with me for like 10 hours outside, and I won't feel the weight, because that is increasingly an important factor for me because I'm getting old, man. Like, I used to carry around a 16-inch MacBook when I travel, and now I just don't want to do that anymore. If I carry a 16-inch MacBook and I'm outside for a few hours, like, my back starts hurting. So I need my on-the-go computer to be highly portable. So this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11. Now, if you want the larger Ultra, what will you get that's better? I mean, you get the extra ultra-wide camera. Like I said, that doesn't really matter. The screen is a little bit higher res, but it's a larger panel, so you don't really see the benefits of the extra pixels. Really, the only benefit of the Ultra is the larger screen allows you to run more windows at the same time, and you get better battery life. That's about it. So for me personally, I actually would prefer the smaller S11. Although $800 for the tablet plus $100 for the keyboard, that's $900. That is a little bit higher than what like Xiaomi or OnePlus or Honor ask for their tablet. So if you don't need an OLED displays, those tablets may still be a better value proposition. But you have to remember, Samsung's products, again, they have a benefit of selling in these countries where Chinese brands don't exist, like in South Korea, in the US. So in those places, this is the absolute best Android tablet that you can get right now, and arguably the best overall tablet. So that's about it for this review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. I have a lot more coming. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.